Manchester United have reportedly entered the race for Jarell Quansah, and this could turn into a very interesting transfer battle involving Arsenal, Bayer Leverkusen, and a player with a rather unusual connection to English football. According to a fresh report emerging today, Manchester United have made contact with Quansah's representatives while discussions are also taking place with Bayer Leverkusen over a potential move for the England international. And what makes this story particularly interesting is that Manchester United are not the only Premier League club looking at the defender. Arsenal are also in talks with Leverkusen, meaning that two of England's biggest clubs could now be competing for the same player as the summer transfer window enters its final weeks. Quansah is currently at Bayer Leverkusen after completing a move from Liverpool last summer, and his first season in Germany helped to maintain his status as one of England's most highly regarded young defenders. The 23-year-old has also been involved with the England national team, making 3 appearances during this summer's World Cup, and his versatility is one of the qualities that appears to be attracting interest from both Arsenal and Manchester United. He can operate as a central defender, but he is also capable of playing on the right side of the defense, which could make him particularly valuable to a club looking for additional depth without having to sign 2 separate players. For Manchester United, this is a position that deserves attention. Michael Carrick has already made it clear that he wants further additions before the end of the transfer window, and Sky Sports reported today that the United manager believes the squad still needs more signings. That makes the Quansah situation particularly relevant because United are not simply looking for another name to add to the squad. They need players who can provide competition, depth, and flexibility, especially with the club preparing to return to Champions League football. There is also an interesting financial element to this story. Quansah joined Bayer Leverkusen from Liverpool for around £35 million last summer, and reports have suggested that the German club could value him at around €50 million, although the exact figure would obviously depend on the negotiations between the clubs. That means Manchester United could potentially be looking at another significant investment in defense, but the situation is not straightforward because Leverkusen are not believed to be particularly eager to sell. Arsenal's interest could make things even more complicated. The Gunners are currently dealing with defensive injuries, with William Saliba and Jurrien Timber both facing fitness problems, and Mikel Arteta is therefore looking for additional defensive options. Quansah's ability to cover more than one position makes him an attractive solution, and Arsenal have already opened talks with Leverkusen over a possible deal. But if Manchester United are genuinely pushing at the same time, this could become a very different negotiation. There's one more reason why this story could become particularly interesting for English football fans. Quansah came through the Liverpool Academy and made his first team breakthrough at Anfield before moving to Germany, so a potential transfer to Manchester United would represent a remarkable Premier League storyline. A former Liverpool defender moving directly to Manchester United would obviously attract plenty of attention, especially if United were able to beat Arsenal to his signature. However, it is important to be clear about where the situation stands right now. There is no confirmed agreement between Manchester United and Bayer Leverkusen, and there is no indication that Quansah has completed a medical or agreed a contract with United. What we have at this stage is reported interest, contact with the players' representatives, and a developing situation involving both Manchester United and Arsenal. And that distinction matters. Transfer stories can move extremely quickly during this part of the summer, particularly when several Premier League clubs are looking for reinforcements in the same position. For United, the next major step would be an official proposal to Bayer Leverkusen. If that happens, then we will have a much clearer indication of how serious this interest really is. Until then, Manchester United fans should probably keep an eye on this one rather than assuming that the deal is already close. Interestingly, Quansah is not the only young player being linked with United today. The club have also been connected with Paris Saint-Germain winger Ibrahim Bey, with reports suggesting that United have made inquiries about the 18-year-old and that PSG could value him at around €50 million. Liverpool had also been monitoring Bey, although their interest is now reported to have cooled. So there could be several developments coming for Manchester United before the window closes. But right now, the Jarell Quansah story stands out because it involves something that every football fan loves to see. Two major Premier League clubs competing for the same player, with an important transfer fee involved and a player whose future could have a significant impact on both squads. The big question is whether Manchester United will turn their reported interest into an official bid, or whether Arsenal will move first and attempt to secure Quansah for Mikel Arteta. And if United really are serious about bringing the former Liverpool defender to Old Trafford, this could become a transfer story worth watching very closely over the next few days. So, Manchester United fans, what do you think? Would Jarell Quansah be a good signing for Michael Carrick? And would you be happy to see United spend around €50 million on an England international who can play both centre-back and right-back? Let me know your thoughts in the comments. And make sure you subscribe because with the transfer window entering its decisive stage, this story could develop very quickly.